reason our Wi-Fi, I don't know, just the cell phone alone, nothing else, just the cell phone. For some reason, it was having issues. Like everything else is running, but no problem. Um, which I couldn't figure out what that was all about. But anyway, that was interesting. All right, let me get my music over here. Turn it down some. All right, so I don't know what that was all about, but then again, I deal with tech all the time, and tech can be interesting. Tech can be temperamental. One thing I know about tech, it can be very temperamental. First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Black Series Edition LLC. Like I said, we had some interesting events happen with the cell phone. Everything else is running with no problem, but for some reason the cell phone just wouldn't seem to link for some reason. I don't know why, but we got it running. All right, so basically this right here is one of the lightest screen paints we make out of our collection. It was developed for Valva and WeMax projectors. We had to, turn away a lot of people who had those particular projectors because again, our darker screen paints don't work on them. So we've been asked questions like, can I use it for anything else besides the Valve and WeMax projectors? And yes, you can. Keep in mind the difference between this technology and the darker technology. The darker technology does pull amazing white levels, beautiful color, actually much higher colors, and it does pull a 100% contrast level. By this using the color shifting technology and real ambient light rejection technology, we can pull this up in a fully lit environment with no problem. Let me show you my environment. So we have our overhead lights on, as you can see, right on top of the screen, and as you can see, our windows light is pushing in with no problem. Blinds are fully open. I do that because I see a lot of demonstrations where people are claiming to have their blinds open, and what you're seeing is the blinds on a slant. So I see those tricks all the time. All right, so let's begin. Bring this back a little bit. Anytime I see demonstrations involving screens, like I said, of this complexion, one of the problems we see a lot of is very serious dark environments. And again, overpriced projectors. My projector in this demonstration is my Chrissy LW505. My price tag for this projector was 500 bucks. And as you can see, we have it right up top where the overhead LED lights can hit it. And then over here, we have window light making contact with the screen. Now in our demonstrations, we do not shy away from contrast levels. I will not turn the lights out to show you the contrast levels. When people do that, that is a complete fail, because again, as I said before, contrast levels need to be done in fully lit environments, so that way if the customer ever decides to turn his lights on, he or she, they will know the outcome of the contrast levels. I have my camera in this weird angle so you can see the lights over top and the screen at the same time. I can work in my office with no problem whatsoever without worrying about the screen washing out or fading or having any discoloration look to it. Now, for those of you who may not favor the black technology or may not be ready for the black technology, this is where we have this technology also for too. And like I said, it helps out a lot for people who have the Valve projectors or the WeMax projector, more higher unnamed brand projectors, that they don't have to be subjected to basically white screens or light gray products, again, that do not do well with these particular projectors at all, period. find the remote control to my Sony. I have a Sony Ultra Short Throw that I'm also going to use on my demonstrations too. I had to figure out what the remote control after that one. But as you can see, beautiful image. And again, no worry about screen washing out or fading. And again, we will never tell you how to calibrate because we do not calibrate ourselves. Now, price tag for this product is around $337. And like I said, this is fantastic for those of you who have the V-Max or Valvo projectors, that if you don't want to spend $700 or $1,000 for their screen, our technology will do the job at 150 inches. So it's 5 days ago? Oh, shoot.
What's your name, man? Aries. Nice to meet you, Aries.
Got some things on my back.
You got a disease in your heart.
Why did we choose Safe Flight?
Right. So let's bypass that. There we go. And like I said, my projector, only $500. And no calibrating. If you're being told that you have to calibrate your projector in any demonstration, then there's definitely a problem with the screen. You should never have to calibrate if the screen works correctly. While you're watching that, I'm gonna try to track down my remote control for my ultra short throw Sony, because I do want to use that in a couple of demonstrations. Let me get my ultra short throw. So I'm using a $60 projector instead of Type Truth. I'm gonna track that thing down. Hey, what's up, Berkeley? No, of course you don't. You sit there and stare at me. I don't move at all. Period. Don't move. You come in here while we're working? As you can see, one of the demonstrations that I saw with somebody with the valve projector and valve screen combination, they couldn't be in an environment like this because the screen would wash out. And with the technology we have here, if you have a name brand projector, you can use the black technology we have over here, which will pull a 100% contrast level in a fully lit environment, where those particular screens can't do that. Even with our technology here, a valve can't basically touch this technology. I'm going to see if I can get my hands on a valve sample sheet. If not, we'll just buy the entire screen. By judging by what I've seen already on the screen's performance, especially in that dim amount of lighting, yeah, their screens are not that good. He couldn't even open up his window right next to the screen, which automatically, watching that demonstration gave me so much information, it's not even funny. Just seeing how he had to alter the environment just to get the screen to work, automatically lets me know that if we put that screen in this environment, it's gonna wash out. But I'm gonna make some phone calls today so you can get your hands on a sample sheet of that. And there's another company who has a projection screen. And also too, I found out that VIII has a projection screen, which I need to look into that too. So I'm curious to see what that looks like. Now, just to let you know, those people who make this complexion of this product right here, keep in mind, if you're not doing demonstrations like this, if you're not showing your contrast levels in fully lit environments, that's the first red flag that we know automatically from the door that the product is not properly tested. I don't know what they were doing with the valve projection setup. That thing is actually interesting. It's not interesting. It's hoopla at the end of the day. I mean, the fact that he had all those lights on in the environment and there was all that daylight outside he wasn't even utilizing. He didn't even open up the curtains all the way up. They were just a little slim light of light pushing through, and that was blocking most of the screen. And what he had overhead washed the screen out completely. Even in color, washed it out. So, again, that's also short throw. We're 11 feet back. And instead of spending $2,700, my projector costs $500. Show you that all my windows are open and they have light pushing through. As you can see, the brick wall on the opposite side showing my blinds are fully open. We have the overheads on. Make sure I get that shut in too. Let me pull up some contrast levels too. Like I said, we developed black technology, so we don't expect the technology we have here to produce like the screen we have over here. We do we do want it to produce a little better. Yeah, we don't want our colors and stuff washing out. But we know it's not going to be the same thing the black screen does. The problem you have with people who only make this particular shade is the problem that they want to convince you that this screen right here will produce the same thing as the one we have over here, and that's not true. That's why they do a lot of their contrast levels in dark environments. I should have my microphone hooked up to this. Now the reason why your screens don't see that, because we have a technology called shifting technology with contrast levels. Our screens can pick up a darker shade of gray. They can't pick up 100% black, but they do pick up a darker shade of gray. Well, we can do our contrast levels in fully lit environments. They can't do this. They have to be in the dark because, again, the levels will wash out. And this is what the customer needs to see. The customer needs to see these demonstrations in fully lit environments. Because if you're telling them that they can use this in a fully lit environment, the outcome is not going to go too well for them. If you haven't done the test. Now this technology here used to be under Phantom. It was upgraded with the 3 elements that we dropped into it for 48s. It's been tested. That's why it's performing the way it's performing right now. That's why we don't have that ashy look to the surface. You notice there's no ash to the surface at all. It's clean. If they're not showing you this much light in the environment, especially when it comes to contrast levels, and those areas are darkened, no, don't, that's not a good sign. Now my projector behind me, I think has a 2000 to 1 contrast level. That's it. Contrast plays an extremely high role when it comes to color. Some people think for some reason the lighter the screen, the better the color. No, it's not. If that's the case, then you are describing a white screen, and white screens don't pull up for jack. So when I'm using this technology, keep in mind, if you're watching demonstrations and people are turning out the lights just for the contrast, well, what happens when they use this and try to use it in somewhat normal lighting? You gotta go turn your lights out when the contrast levels come on? No, you should never have to do that. We show you everything up front so you can see exactly what you're getting. We're not gonna hide anything from you, shred the environment in darkness. None of that. We're not doing that at the end of the day. We don't do that kind of stuff. Show you exactly what you get from the product. And that's the problem when you see a lot of products doing gray screen technology or gray screen products. At the end of the day, they do it in the dark because again, they fake their contrast levels. We will show you exactly what you're getting. Especially if you don't specialize in black technology, this is something they have to fake. We don't, because we make black technology. Never gonna hear me come on camera and talk a whole bunch of nonsense about bubble release and activation systems and all that nonsense. We don't do that over here because we're educated. That's a bunch of hoopla. This stuff isn't real. If you're gonna do a demonstration, do it correctly. Make sure your screens are always in your window light at all times. You don't fake your contrast levels. You do those in fully lit environments. This is something that has to be done and should be done. Now, what I see a lot with, not a lot, because I don't see a lot of black paints. I don't see a lot of black screen paints. But the ones we do see do not do white level tests at all. And that's something you have to see on our black screen. You need to see those white level tests. Very important. That's why we have all sorts of projectors here, because when we do demonstrations, matter of fact, I've done this screen already at 1,000 lumens, and I've done an ultra short. I got my ultra short right there on the floor at $60. Let me get my camera so that way I can basically call some commands. I want to change up something. I'll have to go search through it. It'll take me forever to do. Oh, you're right in there. Sorry, I'm trying to find my area for my adapter. Can't seem to track it down. Here we go. Let's see what's going on over here. hook up my camera, and I can basically call out what I want. Now also too, what I like about the this technology here, it also helps out the customer who may not be ready for the black technology. So keep in mind, like I said, with the grayer products you may see on the market, I said for ours is real ambient light rejection technology, and as you can see, we can do this in a fully lit environment with no problem whatsoever on a projector, again, that cost me 500 bucks. So if you're not ready for the black technology, if that's not for you, you're not ready for that yet, we do have a lighter product. Also too, like I said, for those of you who had the VIII-BLACK or VMAX projector and you don't want to spend a lot of money for those high-end screens that is supposed to be compatible with your projector, you can also use this product also too. Well, I like this scene. I'm gonna let this play a bit, and then I'm gonna go put some contrast levels on, which I'm dying to do. And let's get a white surface in here too. How in the world did you manage to do this? Like how? I swear. Gee whiz. What the heck? Sorry about that. I got my cat one of those fish that you bite and they move back and forth, and somehow he got the entire freaking battery pack reversed. And then I'm like, how the freak did you manage to do that one? All right, good. I was looking for contrast levels. That popped up. Fantastic. So like I said, I like to show my contrast levels in fully lit environments. I like to show my customers exactly what they're getting at the end of the day. This is something we don't fake. And we can go on a little road trip. We can go see how many ambient light rejection, or so-called ambient light rejection, gray screens are doing contrast levels in fully lit environments, and you won't find one. Because they'll turn the lights out. And they'll say, hey, look at the contrast levels. Well, what happens if the customer turns the lights on? What if the customer is me at the end of the day? Because I'm definitely turning my lights on. Can your screen hold up in my environment? What am I really going to get at the end of the day? Are you really telling me the truth when you're selling me that product? Just like the customer, like I said, his entire screen completely washed out in his demonstration. So how much of the truth are you telling me on that product? Because there's a million of my kind out there that will use that product in a fully lit environment if we're told we can. That's why when I see demonstrations on people in these really poor lit environments, they're coached at the end of the day. They're told that they have to use an ambient light controlled environment. They have to use a projector with an extremely high contrast capability to fix the problem because the screen can't see it. And they're told to calibrate because their colors don't come out correctly. They're coached. You're being told what to do and how to use the product because it doesn't work. Any place I lay my head at, you will never see me change my environment for a screen. So my customers ask, how are the contrast levels in a fully lit environment? Here you go. If I see Christmas tree lights, little lights beaming up around the back of the screen and dark corners and all that nonsense, then that you're cheating in your demonstrations. You're lying to your customers. I think after seeing that too many times to count, I don't think I'll ever put neon behind the back of the screen ever again. That kind of ruined it for me for doing neon demonstrations. No, I'm not doing it again. Good gracious, do they cheat ever so too much? Because you have a little bit of lights pushing around your screen. That's ambient light rejection technology. That's a fully lit environment. No. How about you show me a couple of those windows in a fully lit environment? I want to see actual light making contact with the screen. Now, this used to be phantom technology. Phantom technology was tested in the max out zone. So I know it's designed to absorb light. Let's see if we can get some contrast levels in here. Ooh, we definitely got to hit. Not so much this one. I want that other one with the real dark makeup. That's what I want. Is she here? Let me see what we got on this channel. Ooh, no, we'll take this one. I should be running this off the black screen because this is easy. This is nothing. It's a gray screen. It's going to be to pick up a white level. That's what it's supposed to do. The problem is what you need to see is you need to see the contrast levels on this screen. The screen we have over here, that's actually black. That's what you should be seeing. High white levels. That's why I said they get it mixed up. I don't know why they don't do them correctly. Well, they don't do black technology anyway. But anyway, when you're doing a screen of this caliber, you're supposed to show off a lot of contrast because this screen automatically is going to pick up a high white level. The darker screen, the black screen over here, is designed to pick up more high white levels. And that's what you should be doing on that demonstration over there. They do a lot of bright colors in fully lit environments. Go, look, it's ambient light rejection. No, it's not. And if you got to tell people, you got to calibrate at the end of the day. Like I said, I've heard somebody actually say, we're not going to mention names because I don't want them in my demonstrations, but actually say that the screen will get better for the customer once they calibrate. Okay, so what about the other half that doesn't want to? Then what about them? What do they do? Being forced to calibrate. And for those of you who've been commenting about basically making statements that making adjustments in your projector's calibrating, I would suggest you go watch a tutorial video on how to properly calibrate a projector. It doesn't involve changing the adjustments in your projector at the end of the day. You gotta program this for that. That's called making adjustments. I like this, but this should be for the black technology. Their tuning levels are way too high. We need some dark contrast. Ooh, what the freak is this? Man, why is it when I get the bright demonstrations, we're on the wrong screen every single time? This should be on the black screen.
Pizza made fresh to order with our delicious pizza.
I don't remember what that video is. Let's see what we got. We can get some contrast levels for this. No, it needs to be over here. Yeah, that needs to be over there. That's not what I'm going for. All right, this will work. That's perfect. Now, for those of you saying, well, that screen's not producing 100, again, we make black technology. So that's the benefit of what we do. We make both. So for those of you that are not comfortable yet with the black technology, you have this. And when you want to upgrade to a darker technology, then we have that. But I'm not going to come on here and tell you that that screen sitting over there is pulling 100% contrast, because that would be a lie. I'm not going to darken the environment to fool you that it's pulling a heavier contrast level, because that would be a lie. When I sit there and say that screens, when I do contrast levels, should be done in fully lit environments. And for those of you saying, well, you don't have a great, we do have. We had gray screens before you guys ever existed on YouTube, literally. I can go back to digital and crystal screen paint, and I can pull up demonstrations and timestamps which didn't even exist. They're supposed to be done in fully lit environments. You have to sell if you're going to sell this to the customer, they need to know exactly what they're buying. How is this thing going to react in a fully lit environment? When I turn my lights on, is my screen going to wash out? Ouch. Now, keep in mind my entire wall itself is covered in a light gray. And I mean a very well light gray. Light enough to actually match some of the screen paint products we've actually seen already on the market, which makes a very interesting tone. I got to get some network gray 773. I'm going to have it looks next to my my wall. I'm curious. So there's the white surface for those of you who have white screens. We call this, when people have the white screens, we call that the big lie. You know why we call it the big lie? Because these are people, and I've done it myself, I actually did it myself, that you think because your projector has a lot of bells and whistles that it's going to basically project onto your screen that's white. That's not going to happen, not ever. Sad, they kind of sell you the white screen, making you believe that your projector is going to be to fix that problem, but it's not going to do it. Let's go over to, since we got the microphone and the microphone working, red screen. All right, so we'll show you the white levels first. Are we getting a commercial behind this, or are we just going to show me my white levels? Let's try it here. Nope. Let's see if we can get a white level in there. All right, there you go. We do this all the time anytime we do demonstrations on black screens or any other screens. Because we do this because this is pretty much helps the customer understand how it all works. You see that white surface that's producing on the white screen? The first thing we get from people when we do these in demonstrations, they go, oh, okay, because that screen's producing a much higher white level, it's going to have the ability to produce color. Wrong. Can't see color. The white levels are too high. That's a problem. This is why we do them on certified screens. Anytime you see me do a certified screen test, the first screen I would display is a white level. Because there's a certain tone that I'm looking for. And if you don't have that tone, then that means that screen's going to have a problem. The higher the white level, the bigger the problem. So let's go over and pick up the color red. Or just pick up blue. Now we have blue here. There you go. So when you have light gray screen paints, and they're sitting there telling you at the end of the day that because it's the lighter screen paint, you're going to pick up a much brighter image. No, you're going to react just like a white screen. You're going to wash out even faster. You're going to pick up a slight little tone, but not enough to make an improvement. As you can see, we're in a fully lit environment, and our technology is not washing out one bit. These are the demonstrations you're supposed to see when you're watching screen paint products. You're supposed to see solid colors. When they show a bunch of colors camouflaged across the screen, you don't know where one color ends and where it begins. Here you're seeing a solid blue. So now every time you watch blue on the screen, you see how it's going to react. This is a, let me see. Oh, I like this test. We're definitely doing this one. Why not? Now, it'll pick up the white screen, will pick up the white level higher, but as the colors start to change, the white screen will have an issue. Let me put you right up front here, so that way you can see a little better there. My stand pull there in the way. There we go. And as I told before about the other fellows who need to do testing on their products, this is one of the many tests you will have to do on live in fully lit environments. It also helps the customer who has the white screen exactly what they're really getting. Now we're showing a dark shade of gray. This is why tests are demonstrations, where demonstrations can last up to a couple of hours. This is where tests can run into hours easily. Here comes red. And then from here in, the white screen is going to have an issue because they can't pick up anything. It won't pick up color, it won't pick up a thing. Now, some people think if they get a whopping projector with a high amount of lumens, this will help them, which means any image that's being transferred on 5,000 lumens is going to cut through all the ambient light, make contact with the screen, and this image is going to show up. Not going to happen. My projector is 5,000 lumens. I'm actually watching the white screen out even faster. So that's another lie you tell yourself. Told that one myself too. But by a higher lumen projector, I'll be able to cut through all the ambient light. I'll be able to transfer the image from the projector to the screen. It'll work. No, it's not going to work. And you have to do all that at the same time while you have all this light in the environment while you're doing it. So just because we use 5,000 lumen projectors in our demonstration from time to time doesn't mean that's going to help a white screen or a gray screen, because you can't see it, because again, you already are having an issue with the lighting in the environment. Then you introduce another 5,000 lumens of light to the screen on top of that, and it's going to be a problem. Here comes the green. White screen can't see it. So when I look at screens and look at the white levels, there's a tone that I'm looking for. And if I don't see that tone, I automatically know what's going to happen to the screen. They can't see it because they don't understand black technology. If you understand black technology, you'll see the tone. If you don't, you can't see it. Now, what if you basically tried to figure out on making a product based on white levels to figure out where the tone lays at? That could be a problem for you, because if you make the level too high, then it means the contrast levels suffer. And if you make it with no contrast and it's too light, then it means the color in contrast suffers. So you have to have a balance when it comes to color, but when it comes to contrast, you have to be to show a solid black. This has shifting technology, so it'll come up a little bit darker, but it won't be to compete with the black screen. And then once you have completed all that, then you got to do it against certifies. And you have to do it on a 1000 projector. How's a 1000 projector going to react? The more light you have in the environment, 1000 projector, the better the test will be. If I can pick up at 16 feet at 1000 lumens in an environment that meters can't pick up, this is fantastic, and the screen can register and figure out which is which. Where are my meters at anyway? I'm gonna find my meter. Oh, it's right over there. I'm curious what light we got in here. That's what I'm saying. You got people talking about 200. That's nothing. That's not light at all. My paraffin's brighter than 200. That's nothing. You got to be up there and much higher than that. Let's see where we're at on this. So when I put my meters down, I make sure my meter is sitting in the center of the floor. That's what you want to. Hold on for a minute. Joker's in here. We got a meter running in here. I know you'll lay right on top of it. That's the kind of thing you like to do. So when you do meters, again, one of the things I've seen, see where that sound bar is at? I've seen people place meters right directly in front of this. You're not supposed to do that. That meter should be nowhere in that section over there. And the reason why is because, hey, Joker, did I? Chop, let's go. Came right back in here sneaking in again. Let me shut the door, because he's a jerk sometimes. Yeah, I'm shutting the door, you're a jerk. Just told you not to come in here. You popping back in here again like I can't see you. Anyway, the reason why the meter needs to be on the floor, because it needs to be in a neutral area. I've seen people take meters and stick them right in front of the screen, which you're not supposed to do. Because some of that projector, the lumens from the projector, will make contact with the end of the jump the meter. I've seen people stick them next to bookcases, right next to doors, or take the meter and push it up to the light and then bring it down to jump the readings. Can't do that. That meter has to sit right in the middle of the floor. That's where it has to sit at. I've seen people put them up on top of coffee tables just to have them closer to the light. Can't do that. Gee whiz, I swear. If I had a quarter for every time I catch one of these jokers cheating in a demonstration, well, I tell you, they don't never do the demonstrations correctly. Always got to cut corners in every direction you could possibly think of. So there's my readings right there. And you can see where my meter's sitting at. Sitting nowhere near the projector. Sitting nowhere near the windows. It's in a neutral area. That's where it's supposed to be at. And if you're pulling up 220 in your demonstrations, that's low. That's extremely low. Like I said, if I drop that thing in my bathroom, I wonder if that thing will pick up in my bathroom. Probably won't. My bathroom's pretty bright. Now, you see in the demonstration here with the great technology we're using? It's not supposed to match the screen. Not once did you ever see me get up and walk over to the screen to show you, because I'm not supposed to do that. I'm supposed to sit here where the projector's at. If I can't see the difference from here, and I gotta walk over to show you that close to the screen, then you're never gonna see the difference. That'd be virtually impossible. Because again, excuse me, no one's gonna sit that close to a screen. So why are you over there to begin with? I see people do this all the time. Why are you over there? isn't much of a difference. If I had to get that close to the screen, it doesn't work. Let's show you what a star field looks like on this. So we show you everything up close. You can see exactly what you're getting. Let's go to our search. Starfield screensaver. There we go. Now this is what you should be seeing in demonstrations. If they got to turn the lights out to do this demonstration, there's a problem. They're hiding something from you. You need to see everything. And of course, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out why the screen's going to pull a much higher white level than, sorry about that, people, then the white screen's going to not be able to pull that high contrast level because, again, it's a white surface. It's easy. That's why we do the black on black test. That's what they have to do. Let's come right here and let's go in and let's pull up, let me see. What we're going to do with, what do we want to go with here? Oh, let's do this one. Nice contrast level here. So most importantly, I can't find one ambient rejection gray screen literally anywhere on YouTube, and I've searched. Can't find one. Everybody's stuck in these dark environments. White screensavers. Should just went with snow. That have been better. Snow screensavers. Should have been able to track down my cottage.
When you're making an album, it's an intimate thing.
Remember, we have heightener technology, so yeah, we can make a black screen pull up extremely bright next to a white surface, and then gray is easy. Sit that one beside his chair, finish this out. Now, like I said, for those of you, I've got a message about basically about is this only for Valva? Is this only for WeMax? No, it's not. It's just basically a screen paint we designed so people with those projectors can use this technology. They can't use the darker technology, won't work. Can you use it with any other projector? Of course you can. I don't know why you couldn't, to tell you the truth. Would I use it with a low, non-name brand knockoff? No, I would not do it. I just wouldn't do it. I mean, it's your own risk. If you get to work, you get to work. If you don't, it's not our problem. And we would advise you to use the more higher ones. If you have a more higher one, then yeah, you can with no problem, but no. I'd advise a lower one. Excuse me. Even though the specifications on the higher versions of the unnamed brand projectors are still, specifications aren't legit, but they are much better than the lower versions of them. Much better by far. TLC 4K demonstrations. Right there, we're gonna butcher that one. Got it right. Like I said, there is no way in the world on God's green earth. First things first, that projector is $2,700, and then spend an additional $700 for a screen that you can't even use in a fully lit environment because the screen is washing out really bad. So I don't even know why in the world anyone would actually do that setup. And again, this is a fellow who based his entire YouTube channel off this thing. Really didn't do his homework correctly. Really didn't. He was claiming that the projector had legit specifications. Yeah, you ask Epson about that because Epson sued them. They got sued by Epson for basically lying about the specifications. There were no 6,000 lumens on that projector. I've seen them. There's no way there were 6,000 lumens. The projector came in at 1,800 lumens. I doubt it's even that. And you want to charge $700 for a screen and $1,000 for a 120-inch screen, and every demonstration I've seen on that screen sits in the dark. Yeah, that's a wise choice. Now in the center of that screen, that's the certify. Keep in mind, the Phantom technology still has that capability to be able to either match or overpower a certified screen. That's a $4,000 screen, or $5,000. I think it's $4,000. I'm gonna look them up. They're around $4,000 now for that screen. So that technology sitting up there can match a $4,000 screen. From what I've seen in the color and the tone of the Valva screen, no, that screen would overpower you with no problem. And do a check level. It's always low. Whatever we're doing on this thing. Here we go.
What can you do with sensitive skin?
If they do decide to do those tests, they're going to have to spend some money. They're going to have to buy a lot of projectors. Testings require a lot of projectors. On top of that, they're going to have to make a lot of phone calls because you're going to need a lot of sample sheets. A lot of them. A lot of certified screens. One of them, they're going to have to obtain a diamond. We can't really go near diamond. It's a tricky area due to the fact that they don't want us near they don't want our technology. We don't want their technology near our technology. So that's very interesting right there. But the rest of you don't have any problems. What is this thing asking for now? Did I say anything to trick off commands? No. This is why I can't stand, at the end of the day, voice recognition, hardware and software, because it's just a little too invasive. I just don't like it too much. But anyway, yeah, that freaks me out sometimes when that stuff just activates out of nowhere. Microphones are flashing. But yeah, like I said, we really can't go near them on that. We can, but we can't. It's kind of interesting. We're considered to be a threat. That's why. That's why we can't go near their stuff. You guys, on the other hand, can, because you're not considered to be a threat. That tells you from the door where we stand at. They know who we are. And even sometimes when I contact some of these companies to get sample sheets, they already know exactly who I am. We contact the Goose Screen. They knew exactly who we were. Now the DMP supernova on the black screen, we can turn that into a white sheet of paper. Almost close, let's say almost close to a white sheet of paper with no problem, because it's black over there, some more higher advanced technology. But our gray technology over here, we call our dark silver, can basically produce an image that'll blend into a $4,000 projection screen. And do it in a fully lit environment without calibrating or washing out. There you go for your light gray screens. At the end of the day, like I said before, you don't register at all, period. You have the exact same problem. in any way, no way, in any way you have ambient light rejection technology. Those of you saying that you don't, you're actually telling the truth. You do not possess it. You can't possess it. You come too close to a white screen, that's the problem. Now, like I said, for those of them who want to clearly say at the end of the day, well, you know, I don't match your wall. Well, no problem. I'll buy your products and I'll stick you against the wall. Guarantee you, either you're gonna match or you're gonna come up really close to matching it. I better never see an email pop up in my account saying that, hey, my product is not your wall, and I guarantee it is. If I was able to 6 months to a year look at a product and tell you before the person ever tested it that it was going to match, what do you think will happen? So if I tell you that that wall right there that has a very interesting tone to it, it's not like your normal gray. It's a very interesting color gray, because usually most grays they put in here a little darker. That one's a very interesting gray. That stuff would match a lot of screen paints on the market. You would literally match my wall with no problem. Well, let's show you. So we got the wall, we got the gunmetal, and we got the white surfaces, right? Now, you notice that the gunmetal is showing a much better image, isn't it? Yeah, right next to our technology. That's the certified. The white surface isn't picking up. The white surface is matching the gray wall below. Told you, a white screen and a gray screen paint, that color matches perfectly. You can't tell one from the other. Turn you a little closer, shot. We'll hook you up. There you go. Told you. Our technology can blend in or either overpower gunmetal. A white surface can't even compete with gunmetal technology, but a white surface will blend into a gray screen, a light gray screen at the bottom, especially when it hasn't even been tested correctly. So anyone who has our technology literally can paint a DMP supernova to their wall at $4,000. And the reason why we know this technology does this, because again, it's been tested under certifies. All right, that's in front. As a matter of fact. Red screen. Nope, didn't get what I asked for. Let's try it again. Red screen. Literally, I'm sitting there asking for a red screen and it's the same bright screen. We'll use this.
Tonight?
Everything's gonna have commercials in it. And just get one simple red screen. Try again. Red screen. There we go. Man, that screen that went across the room. There we go. Told you. When you do the camouflage colors, you can't really tell. You can see a little bit of it. When you do the solid colors, now you can see it perfectly crystal clear. This is why you need to see these demonstrations every time one of them or anyone shows a demonstration. You need to see this. This has to be a part of that demonstration, because it will allow you to be able to see what you need to see. And if you notice, like I said, our technology next to the $4,000 gunmetal, we can basically overpower it on our technology. If you look at the technology under, actually, sorry, the gray screen at the bottom, which I told you before, will match a lot of screen paint. So if we throw it up against this particular one, will match this. Let's just put it out there. Cinemax will definitely match my wall in here with no problem. That's no problem. We can match the Cinemax to the wall. But anyway, as I said before, see the white surface? Yeah, the white surface doesn't show much of a difference toward the red surface. That's what I'm talking about. This is what you have to be to show in test demonstrations to show that your product is superior. So I'm going to say it like it is. That Cinemax, yeah, that'll match my wall with no problem. Easily, it'll match it. We made it on camera a couple of times. That'll match my wall perfectly with no problem. And if he ever decides to say it won't, well, I'll just put in an order. I can't do it because it'll get canceled. So we'll have to have somebody else put the order in. Isn't that a shame? I got to sit there and say that on camera. I literally can't put the order in because it'll get canceled. Yeah, that's definitely what will happen. It will definitely get canceled because they can't ship out stuff at the end of the day because it doesn't work. And that's why. If it worked, we would have it over here. All right, that's basically about it. Hope you enjoyed. Got to go. Thank you all, and God bless.